Good morning. I'm Sheriff Jim Fryhoff. I'm here with the District Attorney, Eric Nazarenko, and the Oxnard Police Chief, Jason Benitez. Today we're here to talk about the arrest of Tony Garcia, who's been arrested for 2 counts of murder of our victims.
In mid-1981, she planned a 2-week trip to California to visit a friend who was in the United States Navy. This 2-week trip changed, and she decided to stay in Oxnard. So in doing so, she moved into an apartment in North Oxnard on the 1200 block of West Gonzales Road. She got a job in retail at what used to be known as the Esplanade, and made some friends. Night of December 11th, 1981, she and a number of friends went out for the evening. They first went to the enlisted club at the Port Hueneme Naval Base, and after that they went to what was referred to as a disco in the northern part of Oxnard for the evening. They stayed till about 1:30 in the morning, and the group of friends left and dropped Lisa off at her apartment complex. At approximately 3 a.m. on that morning of December 12th, 1981, a neighbor reported seeing a fire coming out of Lisa's apartment. Oxnard Fire Department personnel responded to the scene and extinguished the blaze, but in doing so, they located Lisa's deceased body in the bathtub in the bathroom. Oxnard Fire Department turned this over to Oxnard Police, believing this was a homicide, and detectives processed that scene. The Ventura County Medical Examiner the next day ruled Lisa's cause of death as being that of strangulation and suffocation, and ruled this as a homicide. Since Lisa's murder, to put this into some context, literally 2 generations of detectives have been working on this case. We've been familiar with this case for many, many years.
On January 18th, 1981, at about 6:30 in the morning, 2 newspaper delivery boys found a deceased female in the carport in the area of the 701 Mobile Avenue in the city of Camarillo. The delivery boys, 9 and 14 years old, called 911 and notified the sheriff's office. The female victim was identified as Rachel Zendejas, who was 20 years old at the time of her death. Rachel was living in an apartment complex across the street where her body was found. She was born in 1960 in Modesto, California. Rachel was the youngest child with 5 brothers. Rachel and her family moved to Camarillo in 1974, and she attended Camarillo High School. She was a single mother of 2 daughters. She was attending Oxnard Community College, taking classes in industrial arts to make a better life for herself and her daughters, but unfortunately her life was cut short. Rachel survived by her siblings and her 2 daughters, Eva and Monica. Eva was 2.5 years old when her mom was murdered, and Monica was just 1 year old. Eva and Monica are now both nurses and working in the medical field. An autopsy performed on Rachel's body, and the medical examiner declared her manner of death as a homicide and the cause of death as strangulation. Evidence on Rachel's body also indicated that she was sexually assaulted. Sheriff's investigators learned that Rachel had gone out for the evening, hired a couple babysitters to sit with her daughters. After returning from an evening out, Rachel drove the babysitters home. Based on the evidence left at the scene, Investigators believe that Rachel was accosted as she got out of her vehicle after returning home from dropping off the babysitters. Detectives from the Sheriff's Office investigated this case until all leads were exhausted and the case became cold. In 2002, the Ventura County Sheriff's Office Forensic Laboratory obtained DNA profile from Rachel's body. The suspect DNA was entered into the Combined DNA Index System, CODIS. The federal database searched against convicted offenders, and there were no hits. In 2004, the Ventura County Sheriff's Office Forensic Laboratory notified sheriff's investigators of a link between the suspect DNA profile from Rachel Zendejas case and the suspect DNA profile from the Lisa Gondek case, a homicide that occurred in the city of Oxnard in December of 1981. Sheriff's investigators looked into this case further, but were unable to obtain further leads, and the case again became cold. In December of 2019, investigators from the Ventura County Cold Case Unit began using investigative techniques, including that of genetic genealogy. Later developed leads that identified the suspect as Tony Garcia. DNA analysis later confirmed that Tony is the suspect in both homicides. On February 7th, 2023, investigators from the Sheriff's Office arrested and charged Tony Garcia with 2 counts of murder. Tony Garcia is a resident of the city of Oxnard. He was born in 1954 in Roswell, New Mexico. Garcia enlisted in the Navy in 1974 and was assigned to the Naval Air Station Point Mugu that same year. He remained in the Navy until he was discharged in 1980. Garcia remained a resident of Ventura County after his discharge from the Navy. Garcia was a karate student and an instructor for many years. The fact is, this suspect has been hiding in plain sight for over 40 years.
After more than 4 decades, the long arm of the law has brought justice to the Gondek and Zendejas families. And it has brought justice to Tony Garcia. As this case underscores, murder charges can be brought at any time. There is no statute of limitations for homicide cases.
This is an ongoing investigation. We are going to be looking for any additional witnesses, victims, or anyone who knows anything else that might lead to additional charges against Mr. Garcia. On the camera, there will be the cold case email, which is coldcase@ventura.org. So no spaces, no periods. coldcase@ventura.org, or you can call 805-383-8704 if you have any additional information or if there are any other victims out there that need to come forward. At this time, we'll open it up to questions.
The connection between all 3. There's the nightclub, but did they know each other? How did the 3 of them connect?
To your question, what we can share is that in the course of this investigation, we have identified a number of common denominators that link the cases. However, at this point in time, it's too early to release that to the public.
Something came up about genetic genealogy. Now, is this a case where this guy committed some new crime and that's how he got into the database, or is that a different system that is now used, or what do you guys mean by genetic genealogy and how that helps?
Genetic genealogy is a new science that allows our investigators to conduct additional investigations with DNA data, and that's the rest of the information will come out during trial.